Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai is the brother Kadash. This is a picture that I took myself. It says, we are a cash-free environment. Please note, this hotel, bar, restaurant, and Starbucks only accept credit cards, debit cards, Hyatt Regency. So if anybody been traveling or staying at a hotel, then you will know that you know about the Hyatt. Usually they got a roof Chris attached to it. The Hyatt is a pretty big place. You know what I mean? It's a pretty big time hotel. It's a multi-million-dollar hotel. They got a Hyatt in the middle of New York by right by Fifth Ave. They got I think it's like 146. It's mid Manhattan. They got Hyatt in Vegas. They got Hyatt in Miami. They got Hyatt St. Louis, right? So I went to the Hyatt in St. Louis, right? And I took this picture myself, right? And this is important because not only did the restaurants and the bar, like, Roof Chris is attached to it. So this is even the hotel. They said, look, they going cash free environment. So you come in there with 100, you come in there with a rack, you come in there with 10 racks in your pocket. You know what I mean? You can't buy nothing in there. They not giving you change. They want cards. They want that chip. You see what I'm saying? So this goes into the MOTB. This is what we believe, right? So I want to start off with this. This is 2 Corinthians 11, y'all all know this. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So this is important because whether you believe that the MOTB is the chip, is the C hip directly or not, right? You still don't want to be ignorant of Satan's devices. So you understand that his plan, where he's going with a cash free society. I've been to the Hyatt many a times and this wasn't there before, so I had to take a picture. You still don't want to be ignorant of it. You still got to be a watchman so you don't get caught up in his devices. You don't want to get caught up in this web, this trap that he's about to set. So some brothers say that the MOTB is spiritual and it's sin, right? So the spiritual side of it, you could say the MOTB is a sin, right? We would say that if you take it, it's a sin to take it because the Lord don't want us taking it, right? But on the physical side, we believe the physical aspect of that is the C hip. Now, brothers go back and forth arguing this, right? Over doctrine differences, right? So what does that mean? Everything is of the Lord. So the Lord put the spirit out there for brothers in the truth, for some brothers to say that it is spiritual, that it's sin. And then the Lord also put the spirit out there for brothers to say it's actually physical, the C hip. I'm of the school that is physical to the C hip. But I don't have a problem also with you saying that, wrapping it up, saying, okay, well, it's a sin. If you take this, it's a sin, right? Put them both together. On the spiritual side, it is a sin, right? Because if to eat pork, right, that's the physical aspect. Eating pork, physical aspect. And then on the spiritual aspect, it's just sin. That's why the Lord said, if you, roughly paraphrasing, if you did one sin, you committed all the sins. Because at the end of the day, whichever sin you did, there's different judgments for them, of course, but you still sinning. So you still could be put to death by the Lord. No longer are we putting each other to death for the law anymore, right? But the Lord could put you to death the same way if you commit adultery, or the same way if you just steal, or the same way if you do something very simple like King Saul and didn't kill everything pretty much. The Lord could put you to death. See what I'm saying? There is different extents, and different sins are worse than other sins. That's a fact. But the Lord could put you to death for the littlest one or the biggest one. Or like King David, he could spare you for the biggest one or put you to death for the littlest one. That's the Lord's choice. That's the Lord's judgment in his righteous judgment. So, yeah, taking the MOTB, it is a sin because the Lord told you not to do it. But the physical aspect of it is the C hip, right? So don't be ignorant of these things. Because I know a lot of brothers that teach that the MOTB is sin. they also say, yeah, but we not taking no C-hip either. Because they say that goes against the law of Moses of injecting something into you anyways, making a cut in the flesh. So the brothers will still say like, well, we ain't gonna take that anyways. Hell no, we against taking that, right? Either way, so we really still on the same page. But for the brothers that say it's sin and it's okay to take the C-hip, then now you being ignorant of Satan's devices. Because you know taking this is going to cause them to have complete control and power over you. You pretty much worshiping them as your God, because now they could track you. They could cut your C-hip off when they want to, cut it on to control you. They can see your spinning patterns. They have technology like that right now, using what? The C-hip. But the problem is once you put it inside you, that's like pledging allegiance as Esau, man, to be your God. And the Lord don't want us doing that. Right? So let's go to that. Which y'all done heard it 1,000 times, but let's go to it. So it's important, for us not to be so much just fighting against each other and hating each other. You know what I mean? For us to just educate each other, and really get the answer of what a brother means. Because you might hear a brother say the MOTB is sin, and now you just going 100 miles per hour on them, and you ain't even to sit down with the brother and really just like ask him, get some understanding. Like, okay, so if it is the C-hip, are you going to take that though? Or are you still against that? Now, the moment he say, well, no, we against that too, then we really still on the same page. Hey, brother, don't take that. Whether you believe it's sin or you believe it's the MOTB or not, hey, don't take that right there. You see what I'm saying? When they implant, don't take those. And the brother say, I've been on the wave of not taking those. I ain't taking shit from Esau. Then really, now do you have to have this argument with this brother? Nah, because guess what? And this some real shit. Like, let me break this down to you, right? We don't teach nobody nothing. The Lord uses us as a vessel and he teaches through us. So it's not, well, he out here teaching that this and he gonna lead people astray. Well, guess what? If he teaching that it's this and it's not that and he lead people astray, that's still the Lord's work. The Lord wanted those people to be led astray. Because they might not be elected for salvation. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's when I started to mature in the truth, when I started to put everything in the Lord's hand. Stop trying to play like I'm the Lord, which a lot of guys in the truth, especially leaders, they try to play as if they the Lord or they could speak for the Lord. No, put that judgment in the Lord's hand, because everything that's being done, whether it's good and evil, it talks about that in back in Amos, right? The Lord is doing it. It talks about that in Leviticus. The Lord controls good and evil. Whatever it is, the Lord is doing it. So you got to let that be done. You can't try to stop that. You got to let it be done. Because that's the Lord's judgment. If it's a stumbling block, then the Lord put that stumbling block out there. You see what I'm saying? If you see Esau judge a brother, you might be like, that's fucked up. But you got to remember at the same time, the Lord did that. The Lord wanted that to happen. Has any perished being innocent? That's in the book of Job. The Lord wanted that to happen. You got to pray with shivering and fear that the Lord don't do that to you. Because you got to work out your own salvation. You can't save the brother next to you. You can't save your wife. You can't save your mom. You can't save nobody. You can't even save yourself. You can't save your kid. Only the Lord can do that, man. Stop trying to be the Lord. Stop trying to play like you the Lord and speak like... I be hearing dudes talk shit like online, on videos, man. You know what I had to tell myself? I had to take a step back and say, they ain't doing nothing. They not the Lord. All they doing is making videos. Ain't none of us going as hard as the apostles and the disciples went during their time. Now, some of us act like they are, but they not. Ain't none of us going that hard. They lived this. It was an everyday thing. It was from when they woke up to when they went to sleep. They was in this. A lot of us, we turn to Israelites on the weekend. You know what I mean? We still run our everyday life. They was in it. So let's not even compare that. You see what I'm saying? They got put to death for this. It's a whole different level. So when these guys be on the YouTube video, they ain't doing nothing but making a YouTube video, man. They not the Lord. You got to work out your own salvation with the Lord. Now, a brother can rebuke you out of love. A brother, that's what I'm saying. That's the best way to do it. If you're gonna rebuke sincerely out of love. Don't just go to the internet and get to talking about somebody. If you can't reach out to them personally, then it ain't for you. Now, if you did attempt to reach out to them personally and say, "Hey, bro, you doing this wrong," okay, now that might be a different story. But if you ain't even did that step yet, now you just rebuking out of contention and for clout, what we would say today, just to get your views up or get your channel up. That's wicked, bruh. That's wicked, and a lot of brothers gonna be guilty of that, no matter how big or in status they think they is. Your status don't mean shit to the Lord. What position you play in the camp or another brother that raised you up, that don't mean shit to the Lord unless he cares about it. But if he don't, then it don't mean nothing. And we all gonna find that out on Judgment Day. Brothers, it be brothers walking around like they the elect already. Like they already been elected for salvation. They know they already been elected for salvation. It be brothers walking around acting like they could tell you if you the elect or not. You can't, bruh. Ain't nobody on earth that could tell you if you the elect or not. Or elect or not. They can't tell you if you are or not. Man, you could be a dude working on Wall Street and you heard the truth one day, right? You heard some brothers on the corner and you walk by and they said, hey, I'm going to give you the Lord's name. You ready for it? Yahweh. And then you repeated it back. And you was like, his name Yahweh? And then they said, guess what? He got a son. Then he gave the keys to, the book to, all this right hand. He said, his name Yahweh Shai. And then the brother say, Yahweh Shai. He could get salvation for that. He called on the name. He called on the name at that point. He could get salvation for that. Just that he could get salvation for that. It's brothers that's going to be wicked. And I'm not going to try to say, like, you should bet on that. If I was a gambling man, I wouldn't bet on doing this. But it is going to be brothers that come in and do in the last hour. It's going to be brothers that was wicked. And then at the last moment, they going to believe when they see a chariot. And they going to get saved. See, Israelites, they hate that. They don't really like that fact. And I understand why. You done put so much work in. You done sacrificed so much. You done went out there for years on the highways and byways. And then this guy, he said he believed and called on the name in the last literal hour. And then he got salvation. You like, damn. But you know, but you want to know what? That's a hating demon spirit. That's a hating competition demon spirit. Because me, I ain't never like that. You see what I'm saying? If I get salvation and a brother believe at the last second he gets salvation, I'm rooting for that brother. Let's go. Sincerely. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to get shooken up, man. Because who you think is the elect and who's not the elect, I'm seeing that it's gonna be a whole mixed up. You gonna be like, damn, I thought he was for sure gonna be the elect. And then the dude you was looking at like, man, he ain't gonna be no, man, that dude bugged out. Then he got saved? Yeah. All right, Revelations 13, verse, just straight to the point, verse 15. And he had the power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead. Right? So, in that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark or name of the beast or the number of his name. So you could see like how it's like, you know, you can't buy or sell. So like if I only got cash right now and I don't have a card or my phone which has the C-HIP in it, then I wouldn't be able to buy from this store or this hotel. I wouldn't even be able to book a room. So I wouldn't be able to buy them nothing or sell anything or do any type of business with them. You see, that's why we break it down the way it is. You know what I mean? And now it's going to go even further, because now it's like, okay, this is a cash-free environment. Okay, now you got to have this. But then what if one day, you know, which I can't say that word, you know, but you know what I'm talking about. IMP. Oh, no, is it? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if you planning something, you know what I'm talking about, right? Now, one day, if they say, if you don't have this, we are no longer accepting credit cards, debit cards, or phones. You have to have this, right, in order to buy here. It's easy now because I could just go across the street to the people that do take cash. You see what I'm saying? But what if the whole city don't take it no more? How you gonna get around? How you gonna work? How you gonna buy groceries? So it's really the perfect game plan. And something that perfect can only be set up by the Lord. And it would have to be in the Bible somewhere, right? And that's why we saying this right here. With that, salvation to you, let Shalom.